on this computer. Hey, what's going on? Kerri Schmidt. I've had my Energized today. I'm here with the Fit Crew. It is March 12th still, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about recruiting, like simplifying the recruiting process and kind of getting it to be a well-oiled machine so that it doesn't feel like you're trying to figure out how to do it. You just have a system and you use the same system all the time. And that's how we're going to rock it. Because why? Because this is a business, right? When it's a business, we got to take kind of the emotions out of it a little bit and just learn to do what works and to do that consistently over time. So I want to show you guys kind of what I'm thinking here. I'm going to share the screen. Can you see what I see? Can you see like that little ab cut I got going on there? Like, what? 80-day obsession results. Cool. All right. So I'm going to help you guys simplify the recruiting system a little bit. And like I was mentioning earlier with Julia's mad skills and Kay's mad skills, you have to have the mindset. Like if you don't have the mindset for recruitment, you're just going to be doing you're working against yourself the whole time. So I want to help you lay the foundation for the mindset first, and then we're going to do like action plan. Okay. Is Kelly Lynn on here? No? Okay. Less likely to be murdered for this next slide then. Cool. So recruiting is not difficult. Kelly Lynn, we're on this call. She would probably like reach through the thing and choke me just because we joke about this a lot. It's not difficult. What is hard at first is telling your story and being vulnerable. Like being vulnerable is a little bit difficult. Being consistent is difficult because it's easy to do this job when you've just gotten back from Orlando and you're hyped up. It's easy to do this job when you're not sick. It's easy to do this job when you're on spring break or when you're on Christmas break and you have more time. It's easy to do this job on the weekends when you're not. What's hard is doing this job when you're tired. It's hard to do this job when you're disappointed or when you have family things going on, but you show up to your job on all those days, right? Like most of you guys are working 9 to 5 still. I still showed up to teaching every single day, even when I wasn't feeling my best, even when I wasn't like in the best mood, when I was disappointed about different stuff. But oftentimes, and I think it's partially because of the small investment that we have to make to be a part of this business, like $160, it's not exactly groundbreaking, right? If you built a business like my friend who just opened a yoga studio and juice bar, she had to pay a bit more than $160 to open her business. But let me tell you what, her butt is at that juice bar every single freaking day. She works her ass off. And she does that because her investment was so great and she's got this vision and she's got so much into it and it has to work. And so if you don't have that urgency behind it, you don't have that strong why where you're going to show up no matter what, it makes it a lot harder to like motivate yourself constantly. Advancing in rank, we need to recruit people to advance in rank. Advancing in rank is not difficult. Emerald rank, it's like not a battle. It's just kind of a non-negotiable. It's what you do to start building team volume. Like it's the only option. And honestly, like anybody who has built this business to a big level knows that getting to emerald rank is something you just do as quick as you freaking can, because that's when you're able to start building your volume and you're able to accrue your team volume. Okay. So some people are like, why would I try to get to emerald when like, I haven't been making very much money. I don't want to sign up like my husband, or I don't want to sign up this other person. Like, no, just if you're going for it, go for it. Because what's a lot harder in this business is half-assing it. Like if you're just doing a little bit of this business, then it's really hard to do a good job. And then you just feel sucky about it, right? So my advice would be go all in. Just do what is being taught by all of the people who are like rocking out in this business. all the information is there. It's just whether or not you're willing to take that leap of faith and trust the process. I know it's like you hear that all the time, right? But here's the thing, like diamond rank is just emerald rank 3 more times. Like, what? Like, you need 2 of those people to be an emerald. So if you were to build yourself to diamond, that's 12 people. That's 12 human beings that you're bringing on board. So if you're bringing in 3 people a month, 3 to 5 people a month, and those first people that you're bringing on, you start them out as a coach because maybe they're your mom or your dad or your brother, and like you don't really feel right. Like you're going to give them back what you make off of it anyway. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I was just like not about to take money from my family. I sign them up as a coach. If it's my best friend, I sign them up as a coach. Or if it's somebody who I know is kicking butt in their health and fitness business, and maybe they want to make a little extra money on the side, or maybe whatever, maybe they're just really good at social media, sign them up as a coach. Like I was able to get to diamond very, very quickly. I think it took me 6 weeks. My issue is I didn't have a system. Once I signed up a coach, I didn't have a system for finding working coaches, and I didn't have a system for starting those coaches strong so that they kicked butt right away. But luckily for you schmucks, I did it. Guys, I have the systems already down. We've got Fit Crew Coach University. We have the email. We have systems. So you don't have to be afraid. Like the only people who don't go for this are people who are feeling like they can't bring in 12 people in the near future. Right? Like that's the only reason you wouldn't set this up for yourself, so that you can be making team volume. So I just want you guys to get that idea that like, even though it's like, diamond rank, like I could probably get there in like 3 years. It's like not that big of a deal. You just have to follow this system of recruitment. And part of that is sharing your story. So step 1 is sharing your story. It's hard to share your story if you don't know who you are. And honestly, I think some of us are there. I mean, I think I was there at the beginning where I was like sharing little bits of it. I was sharing, the race story when I like was face down in the mud. I'd share like things that stood out to me as like really strong moments in the most recent year. I was really good at sharing the successes, but not so good at sharing the struggles. But I think being able to share your story authentically and social media, whether it's through Instagram stories, through your posts, you got to let people know who you are, because that eliminates so much of the like skepticism when you're talking to people. Like if they're watching your story and they pretty much already know what you're about, even though you don't know very much about them, they know everything about you. So it's funny, like it's gotten so much easier since I've started doing Insta story and really sharing my heart in my posts. When I reach out and I invite people to join a challenge or to try coaching, they're like, I'm sorry, but I feel like I already know you. Like, I know you don't know me and I don't know you, but like, I feel like I know you because I see what you do on the daily. So I want you guys to really dig into why you're a coach and start sharing that. Like, there's a lot of reasons that we became coaches that I think sometimes we don't highlight as much. Like we talk about, I think I'm really good about talking about the friendships that I've made through the coaching opportunity and how like these people that I've surrounded myself with, like you guys build me up so much. Like you have no idea how much you motivate me and inspire me every day. That's post material. That's what people need to know to see that passion, because I don't think people really care as much like about the product or about the product or the price. They care that you believe in it. Right? Like if someone comes up to me and they're like, oh my God, best restaurant. Do you like Indian food? Because I like Indian food. Best freaking Indian food I have ever had in my entire life. Like life-changing freaking Indian food is like in the next state over. I'd make the drive. Like, I would do a lot if a friend told me, and I already like Indian food, and they found like the best in the entire world in their whole existence, and it was worth being that excited over. Like, that's really what it takes. It takes more passion, more excitement from you than just hard facts. You can know everything about Shakeology and spit out all the details. Doesn't matter if you don't think it's the best thing that you've had. Talking about financial freedom. And I know a lot of people are like, financial freedom, cool. I've made like $100. Yo, $100 is $100. Like, that's $100 you didn't have before. So what are you doing with that $100? Like, actually putting a story around it. Like when I went to Hawaii with Craig, we were able to get surfing lessons because of the money I made with Beachbody. You see what I mean? Like, make it something that is actually tangible for people to understand and to think like, oh, surfing lessons. I'd like surfing lessons. So that appeals to my traveler crew, right? But if you're a mom, like, okay, I was able to go get a manicure and take some time for me this month, thanks to having this little side income. You see what I'm saying? So kind of make that based on your niche a little bit. But you wanna share that alongside your health and fitness posts. So having coaching posts, coaching opportunity posts, they don't always have to have that call to action. So if you want to be a coach, send me a message. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. Just share this experience kind of as it's happening alongside your fitness journey. Step 2 is being confident in what you have to offer. Pat Reelman talks about the 3 steps of confidence, or the 3 stages of confidence, being like stage 1 is very superficial. Like, you're just like talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. You're saying things, but you don't really believe it or feel it. Step 2 is in certain areas you feel confident, like in your niche, in your, like when you feel like you're doing a good job at something, you're confident in that area. Can you raise your hand if that's kind of you? Like, stage 2 confidence in certain areas you feel confident, but in other areas you're like, yeah, I definitely think that I am kind of, I don't know if there's like a 2.5 level, but that's where I feel like I am. Level 3 is that confidence just comes from within you, and it's in anything that you do. It's just confidence in the ability, more in the sense that I'm going to do my best, and it doesn't matter how I look. It doesn't matter how I'm being perceived. I'm just confident in who I am, regardless of the outcome. So we need to be confident in what we have to offer. Because guys, this is like a really, really amazing thing that we have here. Like, aside from the relationships, having something that could actually transform people's lives and bodies and minds. Like, we're not just offering like, hey, wrap your face in this and it's going to look better tomorrow. Like, we're like, wrap your body in our love, it's pretty cool. I'm just really psyched about it. Like, having the programs and being able to stick with people for not just one program or one day or whatever. Like, we see people, can you guys imagine how close we're going to be when we're like 99 years old and doing this still? Like, we're going to be really, really good friends. So you got to kind of ask yourself, like, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your ability to give guidance? Do you believe in our team and my ability to help you? Because you don't have to do it by yourself. That's a cool thing, is you don't have to be able to coach every single person perfectly without ever asking a question. Like, we can help each other to do this. Do you believe that we have the power to change lives forever? Like, I think we do. If you don't, you need to do some personal development. Okay? Hear me out on this. You Are a Badass is an amazing book. The MWF Motivation, Build Your Tribe with Chalene Johnson, those are podcasts. I would listen to this stuff every single time I got in my car. Like every single day on my way to school, I was listening to it. Every single time I was cleaning my classroom, I was listening to it. Julie can tell you, she was there at the school. She'd walk in, earbuds in, and I'm cleaning up my classroom, right? And I'm like, oh, sorry. I was just like re-energizing my soul and learning about network marketing and learning about business because I didn't go to school for that. So I had to educate myself and keep my energy high because it is hard to stay energized even after a long day of work. And then to come home and do this or to fit this in between. The Energy Bus by John Gordon. Very, very good book. There's tons and tons of other ones. So if you guys need some personal development, like advice, actually, can you guys comment in the chat with what you're reading right now or what your favorite personal development books have been? Will you do that for me? That way we can kind of like maybe get some ideas from one another. And in the meantime, step 3 is leading with passion. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. If you're excited, they're going to be excited. If you're nervous, if you're just like, oh, I know this seems like a lot of money. And like you probably can't pay it right now, but it's like 160. Like obviously they're going to pick up on that, right? So in order to really get that passion across, think about how's Beachbody changed your life? And then think about how Beachbody will change your life and like lead with that. Step 4 is being consistent. Okay, guys, I hung out this weekend with like a bunch of millionaires. For real, like a bunch of 6-figure earners. And it's not all about the money, but it was pretty cool to get to see what they were able to do on a day-to-day basis, having that kind of financial freedom. And for those of you who are like my emerald personalities or my ruby personalities who are like, okay, but there's a bottom line. Like I love helping people, but there's a line. I know you. You can't expect to get paid like a millionaire with a minimum wage work ethic. Like, come on, you're going to have to put on those CEO pants, your CEO hoondies, underwears, whatever you got, and like get going from day one. It's unrealistic to make Beachbody a full-time income if that's your goal, if you are not putting in that work ethic and overtime consistently. Now, if you're only looking for like a little part-time, then I mean, you still have to be consistent in what you're doing, right? Or that part-time income is going to go away. So do you post with value 3 to 5 times a day or a day? Now that doesn't have to be like a post. It can also be like within your stories. But are people hearing from you throughout the day on social media? Because we're network marketers. So unless you have had mad success just building your business in person, which some people do, then that's like the level of consistency that we need to have. I try to do 2 times a day, posting 2 times a day on my Instagram. And I've had to cut out some of the other places that I've been posting because it was just too much. I couldn't keep up with it. So instead I've been focusing solely on Instagram, 2 times a day. Like in the morning, I'll post something. In the evening, I'll post something. And I try to make them like scroll stopping post, like really good quality picture with a really quality message that shares a little bit of who I am. Are you starting at least 5 new combos every day? That's like in our power hours, that interaction time where you're just like starting to build relationships with people who are your style. Are you doing the 3 vital behaviors every day? Okay, I know there's 4 vital behaviors, but like the 3, no, we should say 4. Cross that out and put 4 in your brains. Are you guys like doing your workouts? I think most of you are. You're doing your workouts. You're having your shakes. You're getting on this call. One thing I would love to see our team do is step up with the recognition of one another. Like every day, recognize somebody for something. Because we're kicking butt, but like if my face is blowing up your news feed with recognition, you start to ignore it. I know that because I did it with my coach. So help me out there. See the good in one another and start throwing it on the coach page. When something's working for you, throw it on the coach page. Falling? Okay. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Are you following up with everybody that you reach out to? If not, you need a system. Okay. One of the things that I hear is like everybody's kind of like already got something going on. But if that were true, then like how would there be hundreds, thousands of coaches who are getting like 20 to 50 people signing up every month? Like when I hear that, that doesn't make me feel disappointed in myself. That makes me feel encouraged. There's people out there. You just got to go get them. There's tons of people signing up to do these programs every single day. So Facebook people you may know, maybe common interest groups. I've been having a lot of luck though with Instagram hashtag searching or going to other people's pages that I just think, like for example, Brittany Dawn Fitness is a chick that like, I know Kelly Lynn and I really, really love her. She's got an awesome bod and loves donuts and froyo with peanut butter cups on it. And she's got way more followers than she can even handle. So sometimes what I'll do is on Instagram, I'll go to like her page and I'll go to a post of like, I don't know, her eating a donut on a unicorn raft or something. And I'm like, okay, somebody else who likes this post is probably going to be my people. So every day for the last, it's probably only been for the last 2 weeks, I've been adding 100 people a day and it takes me 10 minutes. So I click on one of those posts, I look through and I'm not like going to their profile and looking because I'm just adding them, following them on Instagram. That's all I'm doing. So I look and all I'm looking through is pictures of chicks about my age that look like someone I would be friends with. That's all I'm doing. 10 minutes a day. Probably half or less will accept. But if that's true, then that's growing your following by like 25, maybe 25 out of the 100 will accept. 25 people a day, you guys. Think how quickly you would grow your business. That's only 10 minutes. So I don't expect these people to come like knocking at my door like, oh my gosh, I love your hair and your abs. Can I do your fitness program? What is that? Like, no, that happens occasionally, but it's rare. We got to go get them. We got to go find them. Okay. I'm sorry about these slides. These next couple slides are being fuzzy for me, but, I want to talk to you about sneak peeks because we're doing them. We're doing them. In fact, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit and just show you when we're doing them. So I would really like to start doing them Monday through Wednesday, but I didn't talk to you guys about it until right now. So we're doing it like a Wednesday through Friday just this week is kind of like a test run. Okay. So we're doing the same rotation over and over and over and over. So you want to know when our challenge groups are, like this is when they are. These are the rotations. So pretty much for the most part, it's like the first two. Okay. So like sneak peek is going to be this Wednesday. I want all of you guys to make a goal of getting a couple people in there. People who you know just like, hey, maybe they'd be interested in coaching because of this, that, or the other thing. All they need to do is be in that Facebook group, which I will send out a link after this call for what that is. I'm going to tell you guys how we're going to run it. And then we're going to do it again April 9th through 11th. That's a Monday through Wednesday. And we're going to do it again May 7th through 9. Huh. There's no T. I forgot the T. You see the 9, huh? Anyway. So like it's going to be happening at least once a month, if not twice a month, so that when you're like, hey, this person's awesome in my challenge group, or hey, this person's awesome in my free group, or hey, this person's awesome in my real life group life. You can just be like, hey, man, we have a sneak peek going on this month. And I know exactly when it is because Kerri put it on a slide and I put all those I screenshotted the dates, and then I put them all in my calendar after that call. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And so, like, I'm just going to drop you in this group, and we're going to do it. Now, some of you, yeah, John Houston, that's my man right there. That's a good role model right there. You guys, some of you guys are rock stars, and you're going to start, like, adding more and more people, and you may not want to do this with a big group because you might want it to be your face that they're seeing. So maybe you guys might want to pair up. Like, if you're really inviting to this and you're sharing about it and talking to people and getting people energized, like, we're going to bring the energy to these sneak peeks. It's 3 days. And realistically, you may have people in them more than once, right? Like, we had 30 people in a free group, and 2 of them decided to join the challenge. But now it's the next month, and 3 more of them are now ready because I've been still talking to them and following up with them. Same thing is going to happen with these sneak peeks. You're going to have people who are like, oh, I'm kind of interested in coaching. You're like, sweet, go on my sneak peek. And they're going to go in there, and maybe only a couple of them, maybe only one of them, maybe none of them will sign up initially, and that's okay. The girl who taught this said that she had done groups poorly. She did like 7 groups poorly. 7 months of like not really, I mean, she was getting like 1, 2, maybe 3 coaches out of doing these. And it's like, okay, couldn't I have just given them the information? Like, is running this sneak peek really that helpful? Well, when she stepped up her game, she knew what she was doing, and she had practiced those 7 times. Then she was getting 30 to 50 coaches out of every sneak peek. Like, what the crap? That's a lot. And you guys will notice as you're inviting more and more and more and more people, you're saying the same things over and over and over. So having them all in this group setting allows you to just kind of drop them in that group. And then when you do what I'm going to teach you to do, you're getting that interaction going with them, and you can kind of build off of the other people in the group's energy. So just to give you an idea, like, sneak peeks are all about confidence, storytelling, and personal vision. And I kind of led in with those things. So I wanted you to have an idea that, like, you being confident in this matters. You being able to share your story or little snippets of your story, and not just say like, I'm feeling good today, or yay, I lost this much weight. Like, telling a story is what's going to make people feel something. So saying, oh, wow, like, it's really cool that I, like, don't have to go to my job anymore. That's not a story. That's like a fact, right? Like, that I don't have to teach anymore. But when I talk about how it felt to be at my mom's, like, to watch my mom walk across stage, getting her PhD, and being able to be there for it, and not having to miss something that was like, that mattered to me, you guys, like, a lot. Watching my mom walk across the stage and being able to be there early with her and be there for the party afterwards, and not having to choose between that and Christmas. Like, do you feel that, you guys? Like, that makes you feel something, knowing the story behind it. So this is how we break it down. I wish it weren't so blurry. Day 1, it's going to be like an about me, about you. So this is your sneak peek template. So go ahead and like snag a pic of that if you can. You're going to want to use this for yourself when you're planning. You're going to make a video. You're going to drop it in there day 1. So this time, if we do it all together, I'm going to have people help me out with this who actually are bringing people into the group. So you guys just need to let me know, like, when that day comes, Wednesday, kind of soon, right? Like, we pretty much just have tomorrow. You have tomorrow to invite. You have tomorrow. It's like, I don't know how long it takes to invite someone to a coaching sneak peek, but we're not asking them to buy anything, right? We're just asking them to check this out. So that's a pretty easy invite, especially if you include the link. So I want to challenge you to light a fire up under your hiney and try to get some people up in there. So if you have people in there, I'm going to ask you to be a face in this group. If you don't have people in there, I'm going to ask you to be a presence in the group and just experience it with the rest of the people going through the process so you know how to do it. All right? So first video you're going to put out is going to be about you and your story, and needs to give people the feels, and they need to feel your energy and your confidence. This is where you get to like shine and like pull on people's heartstrings with the things that this opportunity has brought to you, whether it's community, friendships, confidence. Maybe your body is rocking now. Like how does that make you feel though? What has that allowed you to do? So you're going to throw that video in there. That's going to be like day one. I think I'm probably going to do it as just a video and upload it, but I'm going to record it fresh every time. Day two, well, also because my hair is different every time. So they're going to be like, yo, that's an old video, right? So this doesn't have to be like a super long thing, but it needs to be long enough and exciting enough where it really gets their attention. They're ready for day two. Day two, in the morning, I'm going to post like a get psyched, because tonight at 7, I'm going to do a Q&A. So that'll be Thursday night, right? Get on live with me at this time. And we're going to give them, just from that morning to that night, like get on live with me. I'm going to answer your questions. Go ahead and let me know if you have questions right now that you want me to answer tonight. Like comment with them below or get on live with me. And I think that's going to be really fun. I've heard a lot of other coaches say that like the live Q&A has really made the people feel like, I don't know, it's increased conversion. So I'm excited to try that. And then a separate money video posted a few hours later. So like what I mean by that is explaining how people get started, that they need to get started. Like they need to get started with a challenge pack. I mean, how many successful coaches do you know that like have never tried a Beachbody program, right? It's probably not going to work out very well. So they need to get started with a challenge pack and explaining like how that works and how that's going to help them, and how one thing that they suggested is saying like, as a group last month, we were able to help blank number of people. And we need each other. Like I could never have done that by myself. There's no way that I could have helped like 30 people by myself last month with everything I had going on. But as a team, we were able to, and we are looking for more people with that passion so we can increase those numbers. We want to help more people. We want to change more lives. So talking about kind of like what our vision is, but that separate money video needs to be kind of, everybody's going to be like, so what is like, how much does this cost? How do I get started? Like we're going to give them that information on day 2 in a separate video. And then day 3, we come with another video and it's go time. So we set out like next steps, what your first 30 days as a coach is going to look like. I would really, really love to have like at least 1 or 2 of our new coaches share that. Okay, so you guys know if you're like a newish coach, hint, hint, and you've been rocking it, hint, hint, Carly, Jenny, okay, hint. I'm just saying we might need you. Break down like first 30 days, and then we have to set a little bit of urgency. So like the likelihood of people getting on a Friday night seems kind of low to me. That's why I really want to do the Monday to Wednesday sneak peek option. I think that will convert better, but we're just going to give it a try, guys. And just like the urgency I'm giving you to invite people to this coaching sneak peek, we got to give them a reason. Like, so if we're ending it on Friday, we're going to say like Monday is our first training call. And I am so excited to like introduce the new coaches on our team on Monday. So we got to get them signed up this weekend, right? Yeah, so that's what we're going to try. But mostly like not urgency, like there's only 2 spots. choose spots, going once, going twice. You know, like we don't want to like stress them out. We just want to get them psyched. So it really comes down to vital behaviors, guys. If you want this to work, you got to be product of the product. And I already know you are, because I'm looking at you right now and you guys are looking fine. But think about how would you rate your social media presence? Do people know who you are? Are you dropping content and rolling? Or are you interacting with people and building relationships? Are you gaining confidence through personal development? Because I can tell you every time that I've struggled in this business, and ooh, have I struggled. I have had a lot of rough months. And that's just because, honestly, I think it's like when things got busy, the first thing to go for me was personal development. I wasn't growing in my mindset, and so I wasn't able to grow in my business. And then I just got disappointed and frustrated, and it like would take me a week or two to get my head out of my ass. And that's 2 weeks lost, you know? And then you feel like you're starting over every time. So it's so, so important. Kay and I talk about this a lot, like how the personal development is the key to everything. So make sure that you're doing that on the daily. And it looks like, I think we have some ideas in the chat. Yes, high performance habits. You're a badass. You're a badass at making money. Ooh, Julia Pate. Is that a specific, you're a badass at making money? Is that like a different version of that same book, or is that, she might not be in here anymore. How to win friends and influence people. Okay, yeah. I've heard of that actually. My dad was telling me about that one. Erica's never read personal development. We've got a newbie in the hizzle. Different book by Jen. Okay, good to know. Okay, so Erica, Erica's asking good questions. Where is Miss Erica in my little video thing here? She's still here? Is she out? Huh. Okay, well, I'm still going to answer her questions anyway, just in case someone else is wondering. If you haven't really gotten into personal development, my recommendation would be Audible. If you have an Amazon account, having Audible so that you can listen to it. So that's not like one more thing that you have to stop the rest of your life to be able to do. Now, I know there's a lot of people who like to read books and mark them up, like write in them as their, if that's your process, rock on, if that's working for you. But if you're struggling with time at all, you need to have stuff downloaded on your phone that you can listen to when you don't have internet connection, when you're driving, when you're pooping, when you're cleaning, you know, the normal things you're doing every day. Be filling your brain with positivity and knowledge while you do those things. As far as Erica's question about, are you just following them and hoping that they follow you back? Yes. But that is only just like a 10-minute activity a day. What I'm then doing is going through, and I've got, I ripped my notebook. You guys see this? I sat on it. Okay. So I think the reason I'm not a coach right now, a top coach right now, is because when they taught the lessons on how to invite, they said, fill up every line of your notebook, like this side and this side, every day. Make it like your rule that you cannot be done until you have legit sent an invite, not a friend request, but an invite to this many people, so that you're filling up like at least one line down this side, or 2 lines if you're a total like going for it kind of person. And so I did it, but my notebook is a lot smaller. So I think maybe that's part of the hold up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rocking it on a smaller scale at the moment. But really, like, for me, this system works because it's like a goal. Like Teamsy is one way that you can say, okay, I've hit this number. But I found that when I was doing that, I wasn't sending legit invites, and it was slowing me down a little bit. So I've kind of switched to this system, and it just seems to be going faster. So what I'm doing is I get on Instagram. I will send what I'm saying to people through the, I'll post it in the coach group. Okay. And basically it's the same thing to every person. I started by clicking on followers, and then I type in the letter A, and then all of my followers on Instagram with the letter A in their Instagram name come up, and I've just started going through them, and mostly girls, but if there's like bearded guys, I've been inviting them too. I don't know. That's just what I'm doing right now. Bearded men and cool looking chicks seem to be my tribe. So I'm, clicking on every person. I do a quick, like 1-2 scroll, look at their page. If they're not clearly already a coach, I send them an invite. And what I'm finding is on Facebook, I needed to build that relationship first, right? Because it was like stranger danger. Whereas on Instagram, people who I have never interacted with before are responding to these messages, and they're like, yeah, I'd love to do a challenge. Tell me more about it. And then I send them the next little thing. So it's like 3 or 4 little messages. And to me, when I read it, I was like, oh, you guys are going straight for it. Like, I was a little nervous to send this kind of an invite where it was just straight to the point, without like building a relationship first. But I mean, even just today, I invited 24 people. So there's 12 lines on each side with the same exact invite script. None of them were people that very few of them, I can say maybe 3 of them I've ever talked to before. And out of that, I think I had 10 people respond and say, yeah, I'd be interested. So then I sent them the next one. And out of those 10, I've had 5 respond and go to the next part. But that's like just from today. And so I feel like out of, 24 invitations, getting 10 responses is pretty good. And even 24, I think maybe it took me like an hour just to do these because I'm still kind of new at the process. But it was a copy paste. I wasn't really individualizing it very much. It was straight up copy paste. And then it was copy paste for the responses with a little bit of personalization wrapped in there. But so basically what I'm saying is I'm following people, they're following me back, and sometimes I'll start with those people who have followed me back and send the invite. But if I miss anybody, it's fine, because if I go through the letter A, if I go through a letter a day, by the end of the month, I've made it through the whole alphabet and all of my followers. And then the next month, I go back through, and people who need another follow-up from me, they haven't heard from me for a while, or maybe the conversation died, or maybe they're still following my story, but they're not responding. I can send them a follow-up and be like, hey, so see you creeping on me. I know last month got really busy. Lots of times I see a squirrel and run away and I don't see my messages. So I just wanted to check in and make sure you saw that last message I sent you, right? It's all about the follow-up. Guys, that's all I've got for you tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share, and I'm going to ask if there's any questions. John?
Did you get my chat?
Are you really?
Why not?
Cool. That's awesome. Okay, so you guys didn't see it. There's like a really, really, really awesome. Actually, Julia Pay, I was just talking to you about the Josh Coates training. The art of recruiting, and it's supposed to be a really rad training. John's doing it. That's awesome news. That makes me very happy. Anybody else have a question, comment, concern, thought?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when When I'm inviting people, I'm trying to find a good system for this because you're saying that you just write them down on the paper. So do you wait until they respond before you put them in your TMZ, or before I would put them in Asana? Because to me, I'm like, if I'm sending out a whole bunch of them and then like 10 of them respond, I don't want all of them popping up in my Asana all the time.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
how
great
long
question.
do you wait?
So, so I haven't gone back and done it with the people who responded in the last 4 hours, but I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? Just the circles.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If they respond to me at all, I circle their name. If I send them the next thing, so like I circle their name if they respond, and I send them the next little bit of information.
Uh-huh.
And then the next part of the script basically tells them like, this is how much money it is. Which to me was like so early to bring that up, but I don't know. It seems to be working. My people are just like, give me the information. Like, don't beat around the bush. Just tell me what's happening. And they're responding to it. So I've gotten 3 yeses today just from this. And so I'm just putting like a little dollar bill sign next to their name. And then that I sent them the money little part of the script. And then what I am going to do next is put the people who I circled their names. So if they responded and we're like having some sort of a combo, those are the people I'm going to put in my team Z. Yep. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting in the invites. And then now, the organization method is just that they're all the A's. So that helps too, because then when somebody responds to me and they have a name, I kind of have an idea when I invited them. Any other questions? That was a good question. Cool. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.